I want to give us all an Andy Carroll update.
Of course.
Come on.
Go on.
He scored a 40-yard lob on the weekend. He got his lob on, Peter.
Yeah.
It was in a draw for his club, Amiens, against Annecy, which is definitely not how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
But Amiens are currently 10th in League 2. Ligue 2, should I say, as we all say Ligue 1, so keep it French. Carroll scored in back-to-back games. So he's loving life there in northern France, Pete
It was
Donaldson.
a lovely, I'm not going to use the word stroke, but a lovely stroke from the halfway line.
beauty.
It was,
It was a
absolute
stroke.
beauty.
And
It
it
was
wasn't disallowed.
No, yeah, which is
We've
rare for
yeah.
Andy Carroll's wonder goals. It's just seeing Andy Carroll having a lovely time.
Yeah.
It's like watching a Labrador have a lovely time.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
like I live for it.
But I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, where's he getting this roast dinners?
Yes, he did an interview recently, Andy Carroll. I thought parts of it were quite touching. Actually, he spoke about the sort of not wanting to leave Newcastle United when he'd made a bit of a splash there, going to Liverpool, and how totally different / professional it was compared to Newcastle United.
Anything to add on that, Peter?
No.
Well,
no,
so
not really.
he said, like at Liverpool, it was you stayed in a hotel the night before a game, whether it's an away game or a home game as
Yeah.
well. You know, all suited and booted when you go out.
Was my ice bath a bin? No.
Yeah.
It's not even any ice in it.
No.
Yeah.
Andy, you're just in the bin.
Whereas he said at Newcastle we would meet at 1:30 for a 3 p.m. kickoff at St James's. He said I would never forget. I used to go to this little pub around the corner of the White Swan. It was like a Toby Carvery, meat, Yorkshire puddings, loads of gravy. I would eat a full roast, full Newcastle tracksuit on, and then I'd go and play the game. That's just, that is glorious stuff.
Fantastic. I think the footballers should be allowed to feel how they want. And Andy Carroll obviously had a
Yeah.
hell of a. That's probably
But
what's
it will
made
affect
damaged his body.
performances, though.
It will, I guess.
Yeah,
But I
that's-
mean, but Andy was at Preston when Sam Allardyce was in charge at Newcastle, so they could have been powered by Sage, both of them. Fantastic.
Sage and onion sausages.
Sage and onion sausages.
I just think, Andy, you hear that
Yeah.
and you go, the game has changed a lot in recent generations.
Yeah.
No, there.
Andy Carroll went for 35 million.
I know.
He's literally
Yeah.
full of beef
Full
and
of
gravy.
gravy, yeah.
How good could the guy have been?
Yeah.
I think the bit about that I love most is there's clearly part of him that relayed that story and was like, I know one part is bad, but there is a good part to this. And the good part to this was the pub was around the corner, so he'd never be late.
That's
Yeah.
right. That
I
is
said you said
absolutely
you.
I'm meeting you more than halfway.
If you're disciplining him there, you're thinking that's going in the pros column.
Yeah,
That's-
like you had to turn up at 1:30 for a 3 o'clock kickoff. It just doesn't seem right.
Imagine
doesn't seem
if you're a Newcastle fan, which everyone in Newcastle is. If anyone ever visits there, they're always, all of them are. And you work at the Toby Carvery, and you're going, and Andy Carroll walks up to get his plate because it's self-service, and you're carving it, and you're looking at your watch going, quarter to
Yeah, but
it.
like, that's what- but that's
I'm
the-
leaving in a minute to go to the game.
But how have we never heard about that? Because Newcastle fans aren't fucking narcs, all right?
No.
Hey,
Good
there
on
we
him.
go.
Okay.
Good
Good
on
on
him.
him.
A great example of that, which doesn't come up in this interview, is Andy Carroll scored a winner for Newcastle. I think it was against Liverpool at St James's Park. Got taken off on about 88 minutes. Walked straight down the tunnel, showered.
Toby Carvery.
By the time everyone left, he came back out to the ground, like to the pitch, because he had mates in one of the boxes, and so climbed through the stand to get to the box. Had a few drinks in there. Went out into town. They were sat in this pub at the back because they were like, oh, Andy Carroll was like, "Oh, best sit around here. Don't want to get in the way." And then the Sky Sports were showing their extended highlights of that same game at like 8 o'clock. And when Carroll scored, I think he scored a brace. And when he scored the first goal,
I remember it.
everyone started cheering.
Yeah.
And all his mates started cheering. He was like, "Oh, he's here! He's here!" Everyone went and bought him drinks, and then left him alone because, like, "Oh, you're here for a night out, mate. Really well played today."
I think there is
That's
something.
nice.
It was incredible. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because some players with regards to Newcastle said, it was a bit of a goldfish bowl and they couldn't handle it. But it seems like everyone's in on it. Do you know what I mean? Up in Newcastle, I think it's glorious. when
Also,
you hear-
I've played roulette next to Mike Williamson in the casino. It's
yeah.
good stuff.
What kind of roulette?
It's just not Russian roulette. there's only two kinds of roulette. Now that would be too far.
Yeah, okay.
Toby Carvery, fine.
Yeah.
Revolver at the head, wrong.
No,
all right?
but I think it would be with a
Pete,
spud gun.
Pete, can you
Pete,
hurry up and pull the trigger? I've got to be at the ground. It's almost 1:30.
Is Mike available today? Maybe.
He's had an injury.
Yeah. The Toby Carvery vibe reminds us when someone told us that
John Hartson.
Big Johnny Hartson used to, after an Arsenal game,
After.
after the game, used to go to a harvester and have and his big post-match routine
Unlock his jaw.
was like
Yeah, chicken.
yeah, it was like two roast dinners.
Yeah.
And like
2
6
roast
pints.
dinners.
Unlucky.
And every time a fan went over to him to try and
Glass him.
hassle him,
He would say, "If you want a picture, I'll give you an arm wrestle."
then the manager of the Harvester would say, "Leave him alone. He's one of our best customers. He has to stay."
He's in the VIP.
He has to stay.
Don't make
string of sausages instead of the
Don't make-
velvet rope.
He will be here till Tuesday morning buying stuff. All right, you leave him.
Don't make him uncomfortable because he might not come back, and
That's
the bottom
right.
line gets hit.
Don't startle him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Andy Carroll said about being at Amiens, he said what he loves is he can walk into the bakery and get a pan au chocolat.
Just the one.
Just
That
the
whole
one.
interview. That whole interview is I'm walking to a bakery
Yeah.
and have a pan au chocolat. I'm cancelling my my French lesson to
Yeah.
talk to the journalist. Again, like he never sounds like a professional at any point in this.
he
game.
doesn't,
That's
but he's
Pete
happy.
saying that.
But he's happy though.
I know.
And
He's
very happy.
and
And
he's
I want
scoring
him to be happy.
But I think it is because there is a little bit of sadness in his footballing story and whatnot with injuries and blah 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 blah. But he's happy and he's scoring 40-yard lobs.
Cheers for watching another fantastic clip from the Football Ramble podcast. Make sure you click like on this video and subscribe to the channel, which means you will not miss a single upload.